Hoo-ah! A little Megadeth for you. I'm a buzzard, baby. They're doing Incarceration this weekend. I think this is like their last U.S. date before they hit Europe. And they'll come back in the fall. But Megadeth is playing tomorrow night. Pantera's your headliner. And we're doing all Incarceration bands on 2 hours to midnight this week. So we'll hit all your headliners. We'll hit some of the A-listers. And then we'll dig in quite a bit to the bands that you might be less familiar with, but are just as exciting live. So tomorrow night, 10 to midnight, it's our weekly metal show, when Guardians games permit. With me, Corey Roddick, Pat Butler, 2 hours to midnight tomorrow night, all Incarceration bands. So we'll have Pantera, and we'll have, in this moment, throw some Limp Bizkit in there. Local music from somebody. What's the local band? Dark Secret. Going to play for you tomorrow night. But otherwise, should be a good time. If you're not going to Incarceration, you can live vicariously through 2 hours to midnight. Guardians are back on the field as well tonight. That's an 8:05 start against the Rangers in Texas. They're a pretty good team right now. The Texas Rangers.
Yeah. I think
they're doing okay.
I think they're leading their division.
First in the West. Yeah. That's right. 52 games. Guardians.
Also leading their division, but at 45 and 45.
Yeah, they really are. What a great division to be in, the AL Central. It's just a bunch of perennial losers. Well, I mean, Twins and Guardians, but I mean, my White Sox, my wife's Tigers, the Royals are just scraping the bottom of the barrel. That George Brett can't get anything going for them. It's a friggin' embarrassment right now. Anyway, Guardians Rangers tonight, 8:05 on the Buzzard. So there's a guy who is accused, his neighbor's calling him a cat pervert. This guy started filming his neighbor. This is in San Diego. And the neighbor, by the time you see any video of neighbors arguing, it's usually, the backstory is usually that this isn't the first altercation. It usually happens in pretty quick succession, and somebody decides to start filming because they go, oh, this is going to cross over into having get law enforcement involved. I'm going to need some kind of evidence. So there's a guy whose cat keeps going into the neighbor's yard. And the guy comes out and is yelling at him, thinking that it's his fault. It's the neighbor's fault that his cat is constantly in the yard. And the younger dude just can't make heads or tails of it. Why the guy is accusing him of, drawing his cat into his yard? I don't know. Listen, the long and the short of it is, this is the psychosis of cat people. Mary will tell you this.
Here we go. Come on.
That toxoplasmosis, or whatever cats get, that can transfer to humans, theoretically.
Yep.
This is the kind of craziness that can befall you. This is for your own good.
I know you are. Come on.
Your own good.
Let it out.
I mean, listen to this.
You're upset because we made friends with your cat, sir?
You're keeping it in your
No,
yard.
I'm not.
It's our cat.
I'm not even in my yard right now. What am I doing? The gate's open.
You're unreasonable people. You're holding our cat.
How? I'm not even in there. I want you to explain how.
Go in your yard and say, Mercury, go home. Don't come in our yard anymore.
She
they
will
want
not
you
listen.
to...
She's a cat. She doesn't speak English.
Why aren't you telling my cat to come home?
So
Mercury
he's
the
accusing
cat.
him of kidnapping? Catnapping?
Witchcraft, something. Yeah, I don't know.
The cat seems to like this guy that's nice more than the guy that's mean.
Gee, I wonder why.
Yard anymore.
She
they
will
want
not
you
listen.
to...
She's a cat. She doesn't speak English.
Oh, really? This doesn't mean go home?
No.
Huh?
Hand signals don't mean anything. It's a cat, dude.
Really? Okay. Cat pervert.
I've done nothing to bring this dude. He's lost it. He's lost it.
You know what? There's a crime about you harboring my cat.
What crime is that?
Against the law.
What crime is that?
It's called harboring an animal.
I can understand being angry if my cat was in your yard. You're angry because your cat is in my yard.
You could just send my cat home.
No, I can't. I don't speak cat, dude.
Oh, sweet cat, dude.
I speak cat, dude.
You don't.
Harboring an animal.
Is that real?
Yeah.
There's like harboring a criminal.
Well, that's
You're not
the
supposed to
same
do
thing,
that.
especially if the animal has committed a crime.
Oh, no.
If it's a criminal animal,
Criminal.
yeah, that can be tough too. The act of keeping and caring for an animal or providing a premise to which the animal returns for food, shelter, or care for a period of 10 days.
And this is illegal.
I guess.
Only if it's a pet, or is this also illegal with wild animals? Because I've been feeding the raccoons in our yard. Cat
Yeah,
food.
again, I don't
You
know why
shouldn't
people do this. I don't know why people have food out there to draw wild animals because they'll never go away.
They're already in our yard. They're there every day.
Right, but why feed them?
Because they look hungry.
But they're
They're little babies. They're tiny little babies.
and then they're going to get to be big. How did you draw so many raccoons in the first place? I mean,
There's only 2.
Oh.
It's not like I got
What drew
40
them? Were they-
raccoons out there.
Well, I don't know. Were they in the garbage or what happened?
No, they are. So I think they live in the sewer across the street from our house. We were sitting out there maybe a week or two ago. Brian's cutting the lawn. I'm reading a book out on the porch. And these 2 little raccoons walked like almost straight up to the porch. And I was like, what the heck? And I was looking at them and they were climbing up in our trees. And then they've been in our yard for a while. So I was like, Brian, can I feed these raccoons? And he's like, please don't become one of these people. He's like, I don't need you having wildlife hanging out, being
That's
a squirrel
exactly
and
what I'm
raccoon
saying.
lady. But they haven't, like, they were
I mean,
already there.
Yeah,
and
but
then I fed
raccoons,
them.
raccoons like carry disease, and
They're not eating out of my hand. I left out a little bit of cat food. They ate it all. I only
but
fed
if
them
they,
once.
Right, but they're scavengers. They'll find food elsewhere. Why would you draw them to your place?
I'm not drawing them to my place. It's like this cat. They're already in the yard. They've
But what
been
I'm-
in the yard
but-
for weeks.
Right, but what I'm saying is this will just it'll make it a certainty that they'll hang around
But
rather than moving up. Why are they there in the first place?
I don't know. But they've been in our yard for a long time. And I'm like, these things are cute, man. I'm going to feed them. And I gave them.
That's how they get you.
Well, I fed them one time. And they are so cute. Baby raccoons, dude. They're friggin' adorable. I don't think they're diseased yet when they're that little. They're so cute. And so I gave them a little bit of cat food. But it's not like they're coming up begging or anything like that. But they're already in the yard. So I'm like, whatever, I'll feed them.
Yeah, but again, this goes back to when we were talking about throwing apple cores out the window, you know? And I kind of came around on that a little bit. The more people who hit me up and they were like, hey, apples fall from trees. It's organic, blah, blah, blah. I thought of it in terms of you driving your car and throwing garbage out the window, right?
Mm-hmm.
But beyond that, okay, I'll that's a fair point to be. But there are like normal migration patterns that wild animals have.
Sure.
And if you start like actively feeding them,
They're already there.
no, I understand, but now they're not gonna. They would have eventually moved on. Were they probably just guarding baby raccoons?
They are baby raccoons. They're the little ones.
Where's the big one?
No idea. Haven't seen it. I've seen these 2 baby raccoons for like the last couple weeks.
Because all I'm saying is it might start with raccoons, but if other animals, because animals talk, we know this.
Obviously.
If word gets out that your house is where the food is,
But it's only been there once, is what I'm saying.
Mm.
So if I continue to do it, is that a felony? Am I going to be
no, I don't think it's
Yes,
a
it's
Arrested.
felony.
felony. You're gonna. It's
arrested
death
for
penalty.
harboring raccoons?
I'm just saying that raccoons, even more so than I think than some other wild animals, you know, they have those tiny hands that can really
So
get
cute.
them into places, though. That's why you find them in your trash bins, in your dumpsters. You know, people who have chicken coops, they always have to be on the lookout for raccoons
Yeah.
because they're always getting in somewhere.
They're cute as hell, man.
And you're just inviting them in.
Yeah. I'll
right
open
in
the
there.
door. Okay.
Man. Hey, guys, why don't you come on in? I got some food for you.
Come on. They make a cool noise, too. I can't.
Try.
No.
Come on, Poundcake.
It's almost like a coo.
A coo?
Yeah, it almost
Like a
sounds
pigeon? Coo.
kind of. Like a. No.
That's not a raccoon?
No, look up
Oh,
a raccoon noise.
Oh.
It's like a.
Is that a
that's
raccoon?
A lion.
Oh. Hold on. Let me go.
Monkey.
A monkey.
What?
That's an
Hippo?
alligator.
Oh.
No, I got a hippo. So it's not that.
No.
I thought I had raccoon. That's pig.
Monkey. That sounds kind of like it.
That's a chipmunk.
Goat.
It's an elk.
Oh.
Okay, well, I don't know if I don't have a raccoon noise.
Well,
I mean, I used to.
I guess I'll have to
Let me
stop.
see. Raccoon sounds like twirling cotton candy, somebody says. Raccoon noises.
Yeah.
That's terrifying.
It's like between a coo and a purr.
But aren't they also nocturnal? How are you seeing them in the daytime?
That was the thing. They come out at like dusk, so it's like still a little bit daylight at like 8 o'clock. So it's not full. It's not noon, but it's not midnight. You know what I mean?
Right. Because the
That's when
days
these
are
two-
longer?
Yeah, that's when these two little mans come on. Or they could be girls. I honestly haven't inspected, but
Okay. Well, the freaks and the raccoons come out at night.
That's what they say.
And at Mary's house at Casa Bailey Santora,
I sent you some raccoons.
an open invitation.
you sent who some raccoons?
I sent you some raccoon sounds.
Oh, yeah.
Brian said when he lived in Chesterland, his neighbors were squirrel people, and they would feed the
You're
squirrels.
not
and they,
supposed to feed them either.
Well, I looked it up online. I said, "Can you feed wild raccoons?" And it was like, "Yeah, feed them cat food." And I was like, "I got
no,
cat
you
food."
can feed them physically. You're not supposed to feed them.
Well, anyway, Brian was saying how his neighbors had squirrels, but they had like a ton of squirrels that like lived on their roof. They'd feed them, and there would just be squirrels everywhere.
Well, here's what happens when you end up feeding raccoons.
What's a raccoon?
What's a raccoon? It's what you are, stupid.
Ain't no thing like me except me.
Let's make something clear. This one here's our booty. You want to get to him, you go through us. Or, more accurately, we go through you.
I always
That's gonna
forget
be you.
that that's
You're gonna have raccoons going through you
No.
to get booty.
Get booty.
booty. I always forget that that's Bradley Cooper.
Yeah.
Anytime I see him like on the red carpet for the Marvel Cinematic Universe, I go, Bradley Cooper? And I forget he's the, as Gwen puts it, the talking dog.
Rocket.
I was going to watch that over this past weekend.
It's a tearjerker, man.
Yeah, but I thought that you could rent it now. They still want you to buy it. I'm like, I ain't going to buy it
Oh,
for
yeah,
$12,
wait, yeah.
$19.99 or whatever.
Yeah, just
I
wait.
thought it was a bit.
It'll be on Disney Plus in like another.
Yeah, I
few
thought it was
weeks.
already there.
Yeah.
And then I went in and I was like, well, I ain't doing that.
Blake tried to get us to buy the Super Mario Brothers movie. I think she saw it once with us in the theaters and once with her mom. And then she came home like the following weekend and it was on there for $25. And I was like, dude, you can wait. You've already seen it twice.
Well, because I'm
Relax.
okay. So Bill's sister is in town.
Which I found out after
Right now.
from my ex-wife.
Well, yeah, because she,
I didn't know she was in town.
because your niece stayed over last night because she and Nora are besties.
Yeah.
And so I'm clicking around. They're downstairs and Gwen and I are upstairs, and I'm clicking around trying to find this movie they want to watch. And I'm like, what about this? What about this? And we finally found it. But it's like all these other movies, they want you to buy them now. This is what's going on with streaming too. Is it used to be, hey, you can rent this for whatever. And then you got to watch it in 48 hours or whatever. Now they want you to buy them, which, by the way, it still doesn't mean that you own it. You know, like when you used to have iPods,
Yeah.
they used to have to tell you, they go, hey,
We can take this away when we want.
anytime we want. This is still our property. You bought it, but you don't own it. So there's all these weird kind of permutations of this. Your sister didn't tell you she was coming to town?
Nobody tells me anything. Nobody tells me anything. Like I mean, it's not like she was.
You're not
keeping
on
it
the
from me.
you're not on the family text chain
I mean,
or whatever.
they got a big group chat, but I wasn't privy to this. But in her defense, someone may have told me, and I just didn't pay attention.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not the best at communicating. It's what people keep telling me.
Well, yeah, because your ex and your sister and the
I know.
girls, they all went to the alpaca farm yesterday.
Yeah. And here's the thing too: if we ever have a falling out, you get my family because of how close Nora and
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eliza are.
They play Minecraft with each other every night.
Mm-hmm.
Every night. I was like, you have to be so excited that Eliza's finally going to be here in person. And they were. They couldn't have been happier.
That's cute.
Alan, raccoon feces carry a roundworm that can kill humans.
Oh, stop eating it then.
Rehab places aren't even allowed to keep them.
People are stupid. What do you think I'm going to do? You think I'm out there eating the raccoon poop?
Not
playing with
eating.
it,
We just want you to be careful.
smudging
that's
it
all.
on my face?
Just
Good
want you
mustache.
to be careful is all.
No.
On these raccoons.
That's a fake laugh.
It's real.
Listen, I do a lot of things Brian doesn't like, okay? So I do them,
Yeah.
and then he tells me not to, and then I quit. So
They
I fed
carry
the
ra-
raccoons once.
They carry rabies, and they will break into the house and steal Duchess's food. That's your cat?
Yes. Okay, how are they going to break into my...
Because they have those tiny hands that can pick the locks. Yes.
Okay.
And they're already wearing masks.
Right, it's true. They're
And they
ready
can-
to burglarize.
That's right. They're wearing their, what do they call them? Their tyranny muzzles.
Little robbers.
Yeah.
I didn't realize I was in such danger of feces intoxication or whatever.
Yeah, they're gonna break in your house and poop right in your mouth, and then boom,
Oh,
you're dead.
God.
You don't want that.
You're dead.
They say you swallow, 7 spiders a year. How much raccoon
That's
poop do
a
you swallow a
urban
year?
myth. That's not true.
Mm.
Nobody's swallowing
I'm up to
spiders.
25 myself.
He's working on it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, we just want you to be safe and careful.
That rectum has feces in there.
Right. Thank you, late Sue Johansson there. It doesn't really apply to this conversation, but
Is that the sex lady?
the late sex lady, yes.
She was old, man.
She was.
This is called the vibrating turbo suction tongue.
Yeah. Yeah, she passed away at the age of 94 last week, and we did a little memorial to her.
Vaginal farts are wonderful things.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are.
Mm-hmm.
Amen. sister.
Hilarious.
Al and I had raccoons as pets. They were awesome. You have to keep cleaning up after them. Again, I don't know what you hill rods are doing out there.
Having
but
raccoon
stop
pets.
having raccoons as
Let's
pets.
do whatever we want, dude. We're not hurting anybody. Why can't they have a raccoon pet?
Make everybody in the house sick,
Nobody's sick.
potentially. They don't know that.
Dogs carry diseases, and so do cats. and
Yeah,
so
if
do
you let your
fish,
dog like
and
lick
so
your
do
face and put your tongue in
birds.
your mouth. Yeah, but
all
not like.
animals are diseased.
But they're not all the same.
And
No,
many
not all
people.
animals
Yeah, I
are.
was gonna say half these people's partners are dirtier than a
Well,
raccoon.
okay, fine, but then you're proving my point for me. But what I'm saying is, people get like, I have to take my dog in tomorrow morning to get her next round of shots, right? Nobody's giving their raccoon shots. They're like, oh, there's one in my yard. I'll just put it in a cage. Raccoons are everywhere, whether you feed them or not. Right, but they're going to stick around if you feed them.
They're there anyway. They were in my yard for weeks before I fed them.
I have deer constantly walking through my yard, but I don't leave food out for them because I don't want them hanging around.
They're already hanging around.
They're not hanging around. They're passing through.
You might as well feed
I'm
them.
on. You might as well feed them.
You're only eating a quarter of the bagel. Give them the other 3 quarters.
I
Share
love
the wealth,
I love
brother.
these the people walking around downtown Cleveland who just as soon piss on a homeless person as help them out, but they're feeding animals that
Yeah.
are just walking through their yard. Just feral animals. Oh,
I'm
so cute.
almost
I guess
positive.
I guess
In
it's
their
homeless.
defense, it's way harder to piss on an animal.
They're fast and they scurry.
Hey, cuting yourself up, homeless people. That's how you're going to get people to. You're not cute enough.
I give homeless people food all the time. I don't give homeless people money. I don't give
They're gonna-
raccoons money.
They're gonna break in here and then they're gonna make
They're
you
going
eat
to
their
take you.
poop.
Yeah. As long as you're not giving the raccoons money.
That would be silly, Ellen.